Hey everyone, it's Derek Mordica with the Southern Missouri YMCA. Today we're going to go over for our life skill session how to jumpstart a car. So for starters, always want to get our owner's manual out of our vehicle and take a look through and look at the processes for your specific vehicle. You might have jumpstarted another vehicle, but just to make sure, it's always good to have that next to your side. The other thing you're going to need is a set of jumper cables. You can get jumper cables at any auto parts store. You can get them at places like Walmart and Target, and they're about 20 bucks. One thing to keep in mind when we're jump starting a vehicle is safety. So vehicles, we always want to make sure they're turned off before we start our jump. And we can park our vehicles either side by side, or we can park them nose to nose. We want to make sure that the cable is going to reach from each battery, from the dead battery to the donor battery. Sometimes the cables are a little shorter, and you want to make sure that the way that you park your vehicle is going to reach. That being said, when you've got the batteries connected, or the cables connected to the batteries, when we're removing those cables, we want to make sure that those cables do not touch each other. I'll walk you through that process as we get a little further into the video. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to grab our jumper cables out of a vehicle here. Look at our jumper cables here. We can go ahead and lay them out the way that we're going to utilize them. So we want red on one end, black on one end, positive and negative on both sides, just like so. Okay, so the way I like to remember this is red to dead, and then red to donor, and then black to donor, and then black to metal. So I'll show you how that works here. So red to dead, we're going to connect the positive to the dead battery here on the red terminal, on the positive terminal there. And then we're going to connect red to donor, just like that. And then black to donor, and then black to metal. So I'll find a nut on the engine just like so, and I'll just ground it just to that, just like that. Some people think that you're supposed to ground this to the negative terminal. It's actually grounded to metal on the engine. All right, so once we've got that connection established just like that, we want to go ahead and start our donor vehicle. So once we've got our donor vehicle started, we want to let this set just for a little bit to try to get some power to that dead battery. This could take a couple minutes, it could take 10 minutes, but you just want to kind of wait. Things that we can do to kind of help if the battery doesn't start is rev the engine just slightly. We don't want to rev the engine up, we don't want to redline it in the 6,000, 7,000 RPMs. Just rev it slightly, maybe 2,000 RPMs, just for a little bit. That's going to help give power to that battery. All right, once we've done that, let's go ahead and try to start that battery. Alright, so the battery started right up. So we want to let the battery let the vehicle just run and let that power be restored to the battery. A lot of times what will happen is we go to start that and we're just getting sounding like the battery or the engine starting to start up, but it's not. It's just not enough power has either come to the vehicle or come off the donor vehicle yet. So sometimes it's a waiting game, but it also could be that you have a bad battery. Batteries typically last 4 to 6 years. So if you're unsure if you have a good battery or an older battery, there's a date sticker on your battery. That'll kind of tell you how old or new your battery is. Like I said, it's about 4 to 6 years. So this is a good start. If you can get a jump, awesome. If you notice that your battery is expired after you get a jump, it's something to definitely consider picking up a new battery. All right, so once we've let this run for a minute, we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the cables. This is where we do not want our cables to touch while we're disconnecting. So we're gonna remove the black cables first and just make sure they're separate from the red. We don't want them to touch the opposing cable. So if I take a black cable off this battery, I just want to set it to where it cannot touch the red. Same with this. Remove the black, then I can remove the red. Make sure I'm not letting those touch. Remove the red, and then I can stow away the jumper cables. So now I've got that engine started and running. We want to take the vehicle for a drive. Make sure that we're storing power to the battery, power to the alternator. So take a 10-minute drive just to make sure that the vehicle is going to stay charged. If for some reason when you get back from your drive and the vehicle still not starting, it could be several different electrical issues. It could be the battery's just dead. Maybe it's a new battery, but it's just not holding a charge. It could be a lot of things, but this is always a good place to start whenever you have a vehicle that's not turning over or not wanting to start. So that's all there is. It's a pretty simple process. There's a lot of little things that you got to make sure that you're doing correctly. So always reference that owner's manual. In case of emergency, it's always a good thing to have right at your side. If you guys have any questions, concerns, please comment below. If you guys have some thoughts for more life skills sessions that you'd like to see, please let us know. And that being said, you guys enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you soon.